Alright, so I got all my parts. This is my new part here, and it's my new bumper. So we'll start assembling. I cleaned all the parts up. So this is going to go on. This is going to go on. So there's my new bumper on there. That's the bottom, that's the nut. Okay, so for this piece, where's my oil at?
Behind me.
No, I wanted to use this
Pass. Right, sitting right in front of you.
sitting right in front of me. So what you want to do is you want to take some good clean oil and then lube this stuff up. So that way it slides on real nice. Now, this piece here is sharp, so you got to be careful so you don't rip the seals and stuff. Alright, so you can buy like a bullet thing that comes down and makes this even, but a lot of people use electrical tape, and what you can do is stick the electrical tape on. You're just going to wrap it around and wrap it around until you come up till it's even with that. So it's going to take that edge off. And you're going to So I got a little bit down here, and you're going to have a hard time getting it on with it down there, so I'm just going to trim that off as best as I can. Ultimately, having the bullet thing is going to be the best way to have, because with the bullet thing you can slide it right down on, but at Mixed Fuel Garage we're backwards anyhow. Backwards, backwoods, whatever you want to call it. We try to do stuff without spending a bunch of money. Sometimes it doesn't pay off and sometimes it does. Okay, so there we go. Alright, so we got that on. I did forget to put this on. If anybody saw, I forgot to put it on. So what I did was, obviously editing is a great thing. I took the tape off and everything and realized I didn't put that on. So I taped it all back up and then slid it on. But there was no sense of us showing you that because you already seen it. Alright, so that's on. So now, you got your screwdriver with all your parts on it. Take your screwdriver, slide it up there, and then work all your parts back down on here. And this part might take you a little while because there's lots of little parts and pieces, and each one of them has to go down through. And since this was already cut, it doesn't have a real nice smooth surface to slide down on. So you gotta just work at it. Alright, so you're just gonna keep working and working and working to get all these down on here. And just be patient with it. You don't want to break nothing or ruin anything. And sometimes they'll go on pretty good. So there's that part's done. Alright, so I got all my bits on here. The nut, I have a lock nut. Obviously because it was aftermarket and they did some work to it. I'm going to put some Loctite on. There was some Loctite on it when I took it off. So I'm going to put a little Loctite just on the side there. Obviously when you spin it on, it's going to swirl it around. Alright, so I got mine set to 27 is what it says it's supposed to be. There we go. So she's on. I got some Loctite on there, and that should be good. Now, put that back. So now we're done with this part for now. But one thing my manual says, I have a manual and I use the manual a lot because it does a lot, is it says these are all supposed to be turned out to the latest setting. So I didn't do this one yet, so I'm just going to do this one real quick. That allows the oil to flow through and make sure you got oil on all the stuff. Alright, so this piece is done. I'm just going to set it right there for now so I know where it is. Alright, so now for the fun part, and this is the messy part. I'm going to take this and put it in here. but I'm going to turn my vise and get it over the pan because there's going to be a lot of fluid running. There's a couple different ways to do this. You can fill it through your dampener. My dampener is a pain in the butt to get out, so I'm not going to do it that way for that reason, and for the other reason is that my manual says that I should just fill these up, push them in, work all the air out of it, and then use the bleeder hole to fill it the rest of the way up if I have to. So that's how I'm going to do it, but there's going to be stuff pouring all over the place. So I'm going to put this in the vise, in the rag. Alright, so I got my fork fluid here, and I'm going to pour some in here and make sure that it goes through. So I want to be looking in the other side. If it doesn't, I'm going to have to force it to go through the other side. And right now I don't see it going through the other side.
Well, it's not up far enough.
There it goes.
Oh yeah, I see it.
What's not up far enough?
Oh, I thought you didn't fill the oil up far
Yeah,
enough.
I did. If you can't get it to go through, you can always go like this. And what it does is it pushes it through, and it kind of helps anyhow to get any air out of there. So we're just going to put some more in there. I just want to make sure there's no air in there. This can kind of help you do that. Alright. Now what you're going to do is this is where the bladder goes in. So we're going to fill this thing up far enough that when I'm putting this bladder in, it's running out. And we're going to push it down in and get the circlip in it. And that's going to ensure that there's no air in there. Because if you're pushing this in and the fluid is running out, there's not going to be no air in there. Because you want the least amount of air as possible in there. So I'm going to fill it up about 3/4 of the way. And take a little bit and put on the edge of this, and here we go. And this should, yeah, see, it's just going to start pouring out. I probably didn't have to put that much in, but we're going to make sure that there's no oil or air in there. Take the socket. Just slowly push that down in until we get to that circlip area. Just like that. Now I can see all the way around there to put that clip in. I have a new clip for the other one. These ones weren't bad, so I'm going to reuse these clips. Just make sure that it's not dirty. I got all the oil and screwdriver. Where's the flathead screwdriver? There. Once again, these things are a pain in the butt. So, oh, made a liar out of me that time. Okay, you can see I'm a little low, and that's fine, because I can just grab a hold of it with these and seat it. There. So now it's seated with the clip and everything in it. So that part's done. Now we're gonna, well, that's already pretty much filled up to where I need it. It's about 3/4 way full. We're gonna grab our piston. We're gonna work the piston down in, and once we get the piston down in, we're gonna go ahead and work it up and down to get all the air out. And I can see it going through there, because we don't want no air in there. And you can see there's some bubbles in there. Can you see, is the camera picking that up?
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes it'll get real foamy because there's a lot of air in it. Other times you won't have hardly any air in it. It just depends on how well you get the air out of the bottom. Oop. Push that back up. And I still see a little bit of bubbles coming out of there. Okay, looks like I got most of it out. I'm gonna let it settle and we'll be right back. So now I'm gonna actually fill this reservoir up, so when I push that down in, it's gonna overflow. But I'm gonna take the valve stem out, because if I don't, when I go to push that down, there's still a little bit of air in that bladder, and it's gonna make it so I can't push it down in. So I'm gonna take this out, that way when I'm pushing down, it will collapse the bladder instead of just pushing back up. It'll get to the point where I can't push it anymore. So might as well just take it out now. Get it right in there so I don't lose it. Maybe if I can get it. I don't want any air in there at all, so I'm going to try to get it as full as I possibly can, and if it overflows, it overflows, but at least I won't have no air in it. So that's about right there, is about as high as I'm going to get it. Now, I have to push this down in so I can get past to put the circlip in. Once again, it's going to pour all over the place, so all right. Almost. Kind of running out of light there. Okay, I think I might be a little bit down farther, but that's gonna be all right. Now this one came with a new circlip, so I'm gonna use the new one on this one. Okay, there we go. Looks like it's popped in all the way around. I usually like to take them and move them a little bit, but it doesn't look like I can this one. But it looks like it's in all the way. Just make sure. Yep, looks like it's in all the way. What I'm gonna do, I guess you could dump that oil out if you wanted. I'm not really gonna be too concerned with it. I'm gonna pull this up, and you can see it just seated.
I can't see.
It just seated against that just by me pulling it up. So next thing you do is just put your thing back on. And if I forgot anything, guess it's too late now, huh? Put your valve stem back in, and what you can do is you can put air in these just to check it for leaks. I wouldn't leave air in it. I would just put air in it to check for leaks, and then I'd let the air out and have it charged with nitrogen. Your local shop, if you have a good one around, they will they'll do it for you. I heard of people just getting it done for about $5 or so. So what we're going to do is you only want to put like 40 or 50 pounds in it. My air compressor actually has a dial on it that I can set. And then you just want to clean up the whole shock and everything, and it's going to work good. Once I get some air in the bladder to push that out, it should be alright. There shouldn't be no air in there, and we're just going to air inside the actual shock, and then we can adjust our dampening and everything like that back to what we had it. Oh, excuse me. I'm gonna have to reset my sag because I don't know if this shock was actually working when I set my sag in the first place, so you may have to go back in and reset your sag, but hope that helped. There's some other videos out there that show how to do it too. I thought we would just do one because there's only a couple. Obviously we're not experts at it, but we try to do all our own work. So if you have any questions, comments, concern, whatever, go ahead and put them in the comments. I'll try to answer them the best I can. And thank you for watching, and subscribe.
Hold on. Okay, go.
Alright, now I did put just air in it because I'm just checking for leaks. But I wanted to show you, I can set mine. So I set it at 142, what it's supposed to be at. And if I can push it in, comes right back out the way it's supposed to. So
You stick your arm right in the way.
well, it's getting rough. And that's a lot of force. So there you go, that's how you do it. KX250 shock is back together. I'm gonna let all the air out of that because I want to take it and have it charged with nitrogen like you're supposed to. And my adjusters aren't even set. Everything here is set to soft. I'll turn that back to factories, and I'll start at factories because actually when I set my sag and everything, it wasn't I don't think the shock was that great then. So there you go, shock's rebuilt. Gonna get the KX back in action.